Hi, my name's Annette, Sunbeam Fabric Art. I've been sewing and crafting since I was just a little kid. I think that sewing, quilting, and crafting should be just as fun as possible. So let's get started. You can see all the rest of the scraps from my scrap drawer. I've got lots of itty bitty pieces, I've got some medium pieces, and then I do also have a lot of strips. The first step to getting rid of the last of these scraps is to sew one piece to one piece. 1 + 1 = 2. Here you can see I am pulling those chains up from the back side of my sewing machine and cutting them all apart. The next step will be to press them all. Here you can see my stack of 1 + 1 = 2. Now that I have a stack of 2s, I'm going to take 2 2s and sew them together and make a 4. And we will continue the process of chain piecing all together, then snipping apart, then trimming off bulk, and then pressing. Then start over with the smaller stack. Each time you go through the process, the stack will get smaller. Once I used up all my small bits, I started sewing strips to either side of my small bit blocks to make them bigger. Once my blocks were of a certain size, I started trying to figure out how I could put 2 smaller blocks together to make one bigger block. I was shooting for a 12.5-inch square, and I know that that's a lot to run through the sewing machine, so I just started sewing 2 of my finished blocks that had trim around them together to make the bigger blocks. And here you can see as I'm pressing these open, I'm checking with my 12.5-inch ruler to see if they're big enough to trim down. had so much fun making these blocks. It was fun to use up all my scraps, and when I was finished, I ended up somehow with exactly 20 blocks, and those lay out nicely in a 4x5 layout. I don't know yet what I'm going to do with them. I will probably stash them and then put a border on and make a quilt out of these, but for now they're going in my to be finished quilt pile. Hey, thanks for joining me today. You can see my scrap blocks right up there behind me. I've got those 20 blocks and a few others that I've done, some of those crazy quilt blocks, and they're waiting to just get put together into a quilt. I want to give you some tips at the end here. Number one, before you start chain piecing a whole bunch of scraps, fill up all your bobbins. You will love yourself later for that. So do that. Make sure you've got plenty of thread on hand, and have your iron close by and your scissors. You can just sit in one spot, you sew the pieces together, snip them apart, iron them right next to your station, and keep on going. I'm going to say these 20 blocks took me, I think, about a total of 10 to 12 hours in total. So it wasn't a lot of scraps compared to what some people probably have, but it was a fun project, and I love seeing the way these scrappy blocks come together. Bad news, I went to an open sew yesterday and I worked on a tote bag, and it's very cute, but guess what I came home with? Some scraps. Yes! We just can't get away from the scraps, can we? Thanks for joining me today, and if you like my videos, please hit that subscribe button and like my videos. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.